This is it's a reaction to the Monster Hunter Wilds video, but it's not really like it's not a live reaction like what I did or what a lot of people did. It's like top 10 complaints about the gameplay trailer or some shit. From what I've heard, it's literally called like Trailer 1 Worries. So, and from what I've been told, he kind of just like complains about everything all the time. So we'll see. We'll see if his worries are like legitimate or not, or if he's just whining to whine because people like to do that. There's been so much whining on Twitter about this already. Like Twitter for the Wilds trailer has mostly just been people either complaining about something they don't like or talking about baby Puke-Puke, which is hilarious because I'm gonna laugh my ass off if it turns out that it's not even a baby Puke-Puke. Yes. Okay, here's my like hot take about that supposed baby Puke-Puke. Everyone's losing their shit about it, right? It is cute. I admit it. I understand why they're losing their shit. It's adorable. I don't think it's a baby Puke-Puke. I think it's like going to be some sort of endemic life or something. I don't think it's a baby. It's also like, I don't know. It doesn't really, I can see the similarities, but I can also see the differences. So I hope, I kind of hope that it's just like some sort of endemic life thing, but that would be good, right? Because think of it, if they have rooms like we do in Worlds and you can catch endemic life like you can in Worlds, what if you can catch it and put it in your room and then you have this adorable little fucking creature in there? If it's a baby Puke-Puke, then you don't get to do shit with it probably. But if it's endemic life, that would be cute. I don't think we're going to be able to tame baby monsters. That's a little too close to Monster Hunter Stories, and they already did that. So I don't think they're going to put that in Wilds. I don't think it's going to be anything. I really think it's just going to be something that's like in the background and endemic life. I don't think they would make a baby Puke-Puke endemic life, because then like, what are you going to do? Capture this baby Puke, put it in your room, and then it grows up to be this giant thing that licks you with its tongue and eats you and poisons you in your room? That would be weird. Basically, and then like, you know, every artist on the planet has taken advantage of people losing their shit about it being a baby Puke-Puke. And they're like, here you go, here's baby Puke art. Let's see what Ratatoskr has to say about Wilds. Depending on what it's like, it'll be good. All right, Ratatoskr, I hope this is good.
Hey all, this is Ratatoskr. Today the latest Monster Hunter Wilds trailer released, and I'd like to talk about it, but not about the whole thing. We're not taking a holistic approach, and we're not analyzing the whole trailer. I leave that to people better suited for it. Instead, in this video, we're going to talk about only negative things. Or things that...
Oh, the blind. Sorry, I flashbanged you. I didn't know that this started off like being like... I didn't know that I mean, I guess he did title it Trailer 1 Worries, but at least he admits it. He's like, I'm going to be negative as fuck in this video.
Somewhat concerned. And that's not because the trailer left me with an overall negative impression. Far from it. I'm sure I'm just as excited and hopeful as the next fella, but a man should stick to what he's good at.
That's sexist.
And one of my very few talents is whining. And so I feel it's my responsibility to complain and be a downer, especially in moments of celebration.
At least he admits it.
Now, the first thing that has me concerned is that there seems to be an equivalent of the wire fall mechanic. In this shot, you can see the hunter take a big attack from the Ratatoskr, which knocks him to the ground. Around the moment he gets hit, you can hear him whistle for the mount. Around 3 or 4 seconds after the whistle, the secret comes up to him while he's prone.
Ah, he calls it secret. I'm not the only one. He also called it a secret. Let's go. But okay. I'm going to stop him right there. Because that's fucking weird to compare calling your mount to wire falling mechanics. This is so much slower than the wire fall mechanics. Like, so much slower than wire falling. Wire falling is so instant. And this, like, took a while. So, comparing it to wire fall, nah.
And the hunter seems to automatically get on and right away from danger. At first glance, this seems like the equivalent of a wirefall mechanic in Monster Hunter Rise.
Wait, but you said that.
And while I liked Rise, there were a lot of things about it that I felt were unsuitable for a new mainline Monster Hunter game. Things I was hoping got left behind. First and foremost in that list was the wirefall. I hate the wirefall. I think it's so strong that it's difficult for the developers to balance.
So strong. Wait. Okay, I love wirefall. It's great. I do it by habit. I don't know I wouldn't know if I would call it strong, because like, how many times have people died from trying to wirefall? I think it has its own cons. I don't think it's like super OP.
Balance monsters around it. And while they certainly made attempts to balance it, especially towards the later game monsters, I don't think they ever really got it right. So I am worried to see it here. On the other hand, it might not.
I will admit, okay, I admit I'm not a huge fan of the ability to call your secret when you fall over. I hope that there's like a cooldown on it or something, that you can't do it constantly. Cause like, I think if you could do it constantly, I think it would be a little OP. So I can agree with that. I'm not for that. I hope that there's some cooldown or limitations on it. He called it before he fell, so then like you might have to be like good enough to know that you're about to fall, maybe. Like, yeah, okay, so yeah, you hear the hunter whistling before he got hit, but you got to remember too that these aren't just like average Monster Hunter players in these recordings. These are the people who made the game, so like they purposely set this situation up to call the secret before he fell down. So that's not really a good determiner of how it's going to work.
Be so bad it doesn't seem anywhere near as strong. From the moment the hunter gets hit till the time the mount arrives is like 3 or 4 seconds, which is a big downgrade from the instantaneousness of the wirefall.
Yeah, but that's good.
It's also not clear if the hunter is safe while he's doing it. The process of getting into the mount and going away might not have any iframes. And he's not getting away from it particularly fast. It's not like the wirefall. He's not immediately going a long distance in any direction towards safety. And it also looks like it's less useful in an aggressive way. With the wirefall, if you get knocked down, you don't necessarily have to use it defensively. You can use it to get back into the fight if you want to.
Yeah, I use wirefall all the time to wirefall and then just like slam back down right onto the monster, which is probably why I die half the time. But I usually use it very aggressively.
And while you can probably do the same thing with this, it doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near as useful as the wirefall for either going back into offense.
Fuck. I forgot to turn alerts off. Thank you, Shao. Thank you.
Or retreating into defense. But this does bring up another problem: sharpening and healing while mounted. I like the sharpening mechanic in Monster Hunter. As your weapon gets dull, it becomes weaker, and you'll have to find an opportunity to sharpen it. And sometimes you'll want to do that mid-battle. To do that, typically you'd have to go into the lengthy sharpening animation, which risks you getting hit if you're doing it in the middle of a hunt. And there are ways to mitigate that cost, by getting skills that reduces how much time it takes to sharpen, or other skills to increase how much.
He admits he's being whiny. He started the video out being like, I'm going to be negative. Okay, so the mounting while sharpening thing isn't new. We could do that in Rise. But like, how often did you call your Palamute and sharpen on your Palamute in the middle of a fight? Like, I never did that. I never like just used my Palamute to sharpen in the middle of a fight. I just did it like on the way to the fight. Like if the monster moved to another location, I would sharpen on my way to the fight. But it was almost like more of an annoyance to call my Palamute, mount it, and then sharpen in the middle of a fight. So like, it doesn't really save time to me at all to have to sharpen on my mount. Like, it's actually more of an annoyance.
Sharpness you have or how quickly it degrades, and you'd have to make build decisions as to what you think is best. Monster Hunter Rise, though, introduced the Palamute mount, which allowed you to get onto the mount quickly and sharpen while you're moving, reducing the danger of sharpening mid-combat by a lot. Monster Hunter Wilds also has this mount, and if you can sharpen on that mount, which I suspect that you can, then the cost of sharpening...
Wait, did he not read? They fucking flat out say you can do it. I'm guessing, did he not look at the site before making this? Because they flat out said on the website you can sharpen while mounted.
Sharpening will be even further reduced than it was in Monster Hunter Rise, because you have access to the whistle, and the whistle will call the mount to you, and you can ride it very quickly.
I mean, you could do the same
I
with the
think it
Palamute.
unfortunate that the importance of sharpening and the cost associated with it is being reduced and minimized game after game. Finally, something that has me somewhat concerned is the focus mode. When you go to the Monster Hunter website, you can find a description of this focus mode, and this is what
So he admits to reading the Monster Hunter website for Wilds, but didn't read the sharpening thing? My guy.
it says. Focus mode allows you to aim your attacks and guard abilities. You can also use focus mode to pinpoint monster weaknesses, which can be targeted with special new attacks that will deal big damage. By making it easier to space yourself and aim your attacks during hunts, focus mode will make it even easier for
I'm curious. Okay, I'm really curious on his opinion on this, because I'm very excited for Wilds. Everything about the trailer made me happy. The only two things that I'm wary about, I'm wary, okay? I'm not hating, I'm not complaining. I can't have any opinion on them really until I experience it in game. I am worrying about that stupid Palico talking and focus mode. Because I am scared that focus mode is just going to be a new clutch claw tenderizing meta that's going to completely change the game.
Players of all stripes to get into the hunting action. Now, I find this sentence and paragraph ambiguous. I'm not sure exactly what it's trying to say, but it could be a few things. It says that in the focus mode, it makes it easier to space yourself and aim your attacks during hunts, and that it will make it easier for players of all stripes to get into the hunting action. That sentence, especially the part that says easier to space yourself, makes me think that maybe it's something similar to a Dark Souls lock-on, where you'll be locked on.
I don't know how much he knows about this, because information about focus mode has come out, and okay, so from what I've gathered from all the Twitter posts, everything that's come out, is focus mode is you literally focus. You focus on one specific spot, and you get special skills on your weapon for that spot, and then you what did they call it, scratches? So you cause scratches on the monster, which is basically just fucking tenderizing. It's their new form of tenderizing. So you scratch it in order to make that part weaker. So it's tenderizing and focus mode. But I don't know if he knows about all that. We'll see.
To the monster, facing it, and are able to walk backwards while still facing the monster, and in so doing get proper spacing for your following attacks. And I hate that idea. If that's what this is regarding, then I reject it in its entirety. If I wanted to play with the Dark Souls lock-on, I'd go play Shadow of the Erdtree.
I mean, fair. I can agree. I don't want to lock on to certain body parts. I don't want to be hey, I need to cut the tail off, so I'm going to lock onto the tail and easily be able to target. It's basically going to be like that blind Elatreon run, where you conveniently know where how to hit at certain spots because you have a lock-on that's telling you where to fucking hit without trying. So I can agree that I would not like that, and I hope that it's not going to be that. Because Monster Hunter combat has always been about just lack of lock-on for body parts, really. Yeah, it's it would be like having an aimbot almost for it, and I don't want it. So I agree. I'll be happy if they don't have that sort of lock-on mode, or if there's the only way I'd be okay with it is if it had massive cooldown or something and you couldn't do it all the time. Yeah, it is going to be a stance, but I don't know if it is a Dark Souls lock-on, then it will it'll suck. But we don't know yet, so it's hard to be pessimistic or optimistic about it because we really don't know enough about it.
Not what I come to Monster Hunter for. And frankly, I hope I'm misinterpreting that sentence, which is a possibility because the top section kind of implies something else. It says that during focus mode you're able to pinpoint monster weaknesses. And in the part of the trailer that they're playing behind the focus mode description, it shows the moment right before the hunter lands the greatsword attack that he drags across the monster.
Yeah, okay, so I think that skill that he used, because when we saw that trailer, I was like, what the fuck is that skill? We've never seen greatsword do that. It was so weird. So I think that skill alone is that's going to be what the focus mode thing is that it created a skill like that. And you don't see them logging onto body parts. So hopefully it's not.
Monster's face.
And then like right here, this is like, is this it right here? Is this it showing being scratched, tenderized, whatever it's going to be called? I think that's it.
Right before that,
Yeah, I think that's it right there because it looks funky.
Drags across the monster's
Right there, yeah, it looks funky. I didn't notice that last time.
face. Right before that attack, you can kind of see parts of the monster's body highlighted.
He's saying it for
It
me.
looks like scout flies are hovering over its weak points.
Scout
The
flies,
next part of the sentence says that you can use special attacks on monster weak points for big damage.
Okay, I can deal with scout flies if that's what they do. All right, I will tolerate scout flies if they do that. As long as they're not telling me where to go on the map, I will handle them.
So there's some potential that it's only talking about the skills. Maybe only the skills have this lock-on tracking ability. But frankly, I don't think so. I think all of the things are true. If you look carefully at the scene that's being shown behind the focus description, it shows the hunter going into a stance. And in that stance, he's locked onto the monster, and he's walking backwards slowly, which seems to reflect that spacing description that was on the thing. And if I'm right and that's what it's talking about, then it's not that bad. Because you can only do this spacing Dark Souls lock-on thing while you're in this focus mode stance, and it looks like the hunter's mobility is greatly reduced.
Okay, yeah, that'll be good.
It doesn't look like he can just run around and do whatever he wants. I'm interested to see on how this focus mode is going to work.
I'll be okay with that if it's limited like that.
How often can we use it? How quickly does it recharge? And is it going to be the equivalent of the Silkbind attacks in Monster Hunter Rise? Which is something I also might have a problem with depending on how it's done. It could be perfectly fine. I could see this being well balanced. But it's also something I'm going to look at with great interest. I'm going to keep a cautious eye out to see.
I'm the same. Okay, he hasn't whined too much so far. I expected more whining, to be honest. I expected more whining. I think a lot of his opinions so far are pretty valid. And he's not just like saying this is going to suck. He's being very open-minded about whether it will or won't be like that. So, I don't know. It's not too bad.
See how they explain it in future trailers and interviews. Mechanically, those are the only things I have to comment on. But there is one last thing I saw in the trailer that I don't like. Is it the Palico? Take a listen to this. As you can see, the Palico is talking. Let me show it to you again.
Okay, you know what? All right, you know what, Ratatoskr? I thought this was going to be a very, very whiny video. But I understand all of his worries. The only thing I didn't worry too much about was the calling the secret in the middle of the fight. But you know what? He redeemed himself for everything because of this. I've seen way more whining on Twitter than I have in this video. But this, the Palico, man, it's like my biggest and really only complaint from the trailer.
That isn't the handler. That's not of any of the other NPCs. That's the Palico talking in it, what I can only describe as a very annoying voice.
Yes.
I am not happy with it. I think it is a bad idea to give the Palicos actual English voices.
Same.
It was perfectly fine to keep their dialogue in text and their noises restricted to meowing, because you have to think, what does a Palico dialogue look like? What do Palicos say? What is the Palico gonna say during hunts? It's going to shout out tips with its real English voice.
And it's gonna kill you
and
inside.
And make Palico cat puns the whole time.
Okay, you know me, I love cat puns. My entire Discord is cat puns. But there's an entire section of the Monster Hunter community that despises how many cat puns are in Monster Hunter. Like, if you search up cat puns Monster Hunter, you get a bunch of threads of being like, I hate cat puns. I wish that they would die. I don't want to hear any more cat puns. This is the worst thing in Monster Hunter. And I fucking love them. So if not only is it going to speak in this really annoying Navi sounding voice with cat puns, people are going to die inside, myself included though. Even I love cat puns and I'm going to die.
And I can see that becoming very tiresome very fast. Anyway, that's the end of this video.
Meow is an opportunity to sharpen your weapon. No! Even I won't be able to handle this. Even I won't be able to handle that. I can't. No, it'll be too much. Look, everyone knows, well, maybe not everyone knows. I'm gonna play the game in the Monster Hunter language. So hopefully I'll be safe. I don't know what the voice is gonna sound like though, because even in Monster Hunter language, if the voice is annoying enough, it's still gonna drive me nuts. I've heard the Japanese version's not bad. We will see.
Please unsubscribe and unclick the bell notification. I know how abrasive it can be to listen to someone be a negative Nancy when all you want to do is celebrate and be happy. Next time I'm sure to get you to unclick from the video in disgust. Until then though, thank you very much for watching.
I don't think it was that bad. It was not that bad. I expected so much more whining, to be honest. I expected more. Okay, I think a lot of his opinions and worries are valid. It wasn't too bad. It was short, to the point. He could have complained about so many more things. I've seen so much more complaining on Twitter. Like, so much more complaining. Like, this is mild compared to Twitter. Twitter is like, Twitter won't even stop talking about how they think this guy is ugly. Like, apparently every monster in Monster Hunter has to be cute and adorable or edgy and neat looking, and you have something like this and like everyone just is like, oh man, this thing sucks. This thing's not good looking at all. And it's like, no, I think he's fine. He's unique. We haven't had anything like this in Monster Hunter before. So like, it's literally, man, it's like they showed us the most basic beginner stuff for Monster Hunter Wilds, and like everyone's having a field day, assuming that like every monster is gonna be ugly now because of this one guy, even though Rock Dude's amazing and I love him, and they just keep forgetting about him and focusing on stupid baby Puke-Puke who might not even be a baby Puke-Puke. Like, just wait, guys. Like, just wait. The game's not even out. We haven't even seen like gameplay with the UI. We haven't seen anything new other than 2 new monsters and a freaking, oh wait, I guess we got like some the small monsters too. We got some of the like Velociprey type things. And then a mount. That's all they've shown us. So calm your shit. Wait for more information to come out. Just try to enjoy the fact that we have a trailer. That's another thing. I'm so happy we have a trailer. I saw someone complain that this was all we got as a trailer. They were upset that this was all we got. I'm like, dude, we weren't even expecting this trailer. Why are you upset? This was a surprise trailer, man. No one knew we were gonna get this. We know we're gonna get the one at Game Fest, but we did not know we were getting this one. And you're gonna complain that we got anything. Drives me nuts. Just be happy. Man, I'm excited though. We have 4 days. 4 days. And then we get to see more. Yay! 4 days until we get to see freaking the whatever they decide to give us at Game Fest. I don't know what they're gonna give us, but I'm excited. I am always happy for more Monster Hunter. That's all I care about. I'm happy. Yeah, also, I don't want Capcom to reveal everything. I want to be surprised when the game comes out. Like, people are like, oh, at Game Fest, they're going to show us all 20 monsters in the roster. And I'm like, no, I want to be surprised. Stop it. Let me be surprised. Please. Why is this so hard to understand? You don't need to know everything about a game before it comes out. Capcom revealed the entirety of Rise and Sunbreak before the games came out. Yeah, I don't want that, man. I want to be surprised. There's not a chance in hell I'm not going to watch the new trailer. What do you mean? Of course I'm going to watch the new trailer. I won't be able to stay away. All right, do you guys want to nut? We didn't nut last time. Would you like to nut this time? You're saving yourself for marriage? No. It sucks to be you. Everyone else can nut around you. Hopefully, Monday next week, we will have a really good Monster Hunter trailer to react to and watch and analyze and talk about, and I'm super excited. Please don't disappoint me, Game Fest. Please don't only show the mobile puzzle game.